Good morning and welcome to Ain't Nobody Squeaky Clean. In this episode, I want to talk about something today. Something that a lot of people are living, but not a lot of people are saying out loud. How are people keeping it together nowadays? Many people have lost their jobs. Their savings has been dwindled to nothing. They've had to tap their retirement and 401ks. Those are now dwindled to nothing. And after that, in many cases, people are starting to lose their minds now. Can you imagine working your whole life preparing for retirement only to have everything just pulled away from you with no ability to pick up the pieces and move forward? However, if you look online, it looks like everything is fine. You know, everybody's pivoting, everybody's leveling up, everybody's winning. But that's not real life. What I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, what I'm living around, and what I'm dealing with is simply survival. You're not thriving. You're not dreaming big. You're merely trying to exist. Stretching days into weeks. Stretching weeks into months. Months into hope. Doing mental math each and every day, just trying to stay afloat. And the wild part is, a lot of these people that are impacted did everything right. Everything right. They worked hard. They stayed loyal. They showed up each and every day. They sacrificed happiness because they knew they had to take care of their families. And guess what? It still fell apart. And let me say this clearly. The money, that part hurts. But the identity loss, that's what really messes people up. When you've been productive your entire adult life, when your value has been tied to contribution, losing work doesn't just hit your bank account. It hits who you think you are. People aren't just asking, hey, how do I pay my bills? They're asking, who am I if nobody needs me right now? What if my phone never rings again? What do I do? Who am I? What am I? So what are people doing in order to sustain or try to sustain in this environment? People are downsizing their lives quick, fast. They're selling cars. They're moving in with family. They're breaking leases. They're pulling kids out of activities. They're doing all of these things just to figure out how to survive another moment. You have to cut anything that feels like a luxury. Anything. That coffee from your favorite coffee shop. Your rest is impacted. Your peace is removed. And mentally, let's be honest, most people aren't healing and working on their mental health right now. You're simply managing. White knuckling anxiety, carrying shame quietly, smiling in public, but unraveling in private. I can't tell you how many pillows I've beaten up over the years. How many stuffed animals you grab and just shake. You know, how many times you talk to yourself in the mirror. It's got to get better. It's got to get better. If only I had done X, Y, and Z when I was 25, maybe now I'd be here. There's also a lot of grief that nobody really talks about. You start grieving the version of yourself that you are now. You worked years to become this superstar employee or this superstar business owner. The career you thought was stable. The future you thought you earned. Gone. Poof. So people are trying to reinvent themselves. And not because it's exciting, because you have to. Because those four walls start to cave in on you when you're sitting around trying to figure it out. So if you're lucky enough to find something, people will take jobs that are well below the experience level that they're at. That's if you're lucky, because there's not much out here. People are switching industries mid-career, starting side hustles that they never wanted. But you've got to do something. Right now, this isn't follow your passion. This is simply don't drown. And many of us are one breath away from drowning. And what makes it harder right now is when someone tells you, hey, try to stay positive. Trust the process. Keep the faith. Hey, pivot again. As if the exhaustion that you have is just a mindset problem and not real. People who have never gone through this or have been very fortunate to land on their feet softly after like maybe a week or two, they will never understand the plight. They will never understand the struggle. The truth out here, people aren't lazy. They aren't unmotivated. We're freaking tired, deeply tired. And if this is you, I really want you to hear this part. You're not weak. You're not broken. And one thing that you definitely aren't, you are not alone. Even if it feels like it, the fact that you're still here, still trying, still showing up when your tank is on empty, that is resilience. Even if nobody is clapping for it, we need to start telling the truth about this season so that people understand. We need to pull together, band together, not to complain, not to quit, but so people stop thinking they're failing in isolation. Because this isn't an individual failure, This is a collective reckoning. And the more honest we are about it, the less alone people will feel while they fight their way through it. This is Ain't Nobody Squeaky Clean. And the last thing I want to leave you with is to know I'm only a text away. If you're going through this and you feel like you're alone, reach out. Because I promise you, you are not. And we can figure this out together. Thanks for listening. And as always, I hope you have a blessed day.